minnow scatter. So there are minnows up here. Or maybe they're little tiny bluegills or something. But something was getting chased. I could have lured a fish in closer, and then it hit these little fish that are here. That's why we didn't get it. Something may have followed us in. Try that again. If you don't make the right movement, and you're competing with minnows and stuff, they're going to hit whatever they get their mouth on. Yeah, that sun is starting to take effect now. You see, the water is really not deep enough to just let it drift like that. Because you just start picking up weeds if you let it. You just let it hang there. I like this spot because it gives you a couple options. Because you got this little hideout here. Where the fish come up when they swim up. And they can't go any further, and they end up in that little hideout. And then you got this edge here where the water comes around. And then of course you got all the water out here. When I hang it in here, I kind of feel like it's bumping something. Like there's small fish in here in this area that they're coming for. You just have to catch their attention the right way. The bigger fish, when they happen to come through and make a run at them. Little guy. Yeah, he came off. Not much of a hook set there. He's so small. He's so light. And those little guys could even be the ones chasing the even smaller ones. bump some rocks down there. It feels like we picked up some weeds, maybe. Let's just bump them rocks. Yeah, that sun's hitting me right now. Time to get a little drink. Plus we had all that Canadian smoke coming down here. I just had a hit. So that cost me a couple of days because it wasn't, you couldn't even be outside for very long when it was smoky here. At least I didn't want to be, because I don't want to breathe that stuff. Let's get some water here. Give this a little break. We got a hit in our little hole, secret hole right there. So we'll see if that's still around after I get a drink. Hopefully I don't forget that water bottle. I've only got one bottle of water left too, so when that's gone, that's pretty much it. See if that fish is still around. It hit it right in the corner of where the fast water. I could have swore I just saw a fish up on that spillway. But I don't know, it seems like I got something in my eye right now. Let's see what's going on with my eye here real quick. Maybe some road dust and stuff from riding. So I was able to get my ride in today too. I had to go with a black and gray hat today, even though it's got some mesh to it, because I left my other hat somewhere. I really need to get a new hat though. I think we just had something hit it right there. We didn't hook up though. Maybe it'll follow us in. No, we got weeds. I don't know, maybe we hit like a pile of weeds or something. When I turn to the right here, that sun just hits me right in the face. we got some clouds coming through. There's not much of a bite right now. I don't see that guy out there catching anything. He's out pretty much in the middle, casting up into a, looks like there's a slow pocket right there. Because you can't really, if you fish like that, you can't really cast up into rapids like this, because then whatever you're fishing with is just going to get dragged into the rocks where nothing can see it. Unless you've got like a live minnow hanging on a weight or something, swimming around. Could have swore I saw something jump out there. That's why I like using a jig like this, because you can control it to do what you want with it, any speed you want. Move it around. Cover a big area. Not much of a bite today though. The sun's really hitting me now. Pretty much just doing what I usually do here. They're either here or they're not. Something just hit it up here. I don't know, maybe you're just not that aggressive right now. I've been kind of getting some weak hits here. I see minnows flying around up here. They're small fish, whatever they are. Minnows, shad, little bluegills, shiners. Could be anything. That sun's taking effect now. There's some bigger clouds. It's going to take them a long time to block that sun though. And when these fish are aggressive though, they're gonna hit. Up in this hole here, I mean I have a little crankbait that I like to use in the river. Looks like a perch, which is pretty rare to get in the the rapids, but fish seem to like it. But it's really easy to lose a lure in the river because of the current. It ends up getting snagged. But I've just floated it on top over here, and they just see the bottom of it, and they smack it. Would just be the right color. And this is getting hard to fish facing the sun like this. Get some more water. Down to about half a bottle. It's weird. It looks like the current kind of picked up in this hole here. I don't know where the water could be coming from. That's the thing though, if you get, depending on where it rains, I mean if it rains up north and the water will just start coming down and it'll raise that water level up for you, even if it doesn't rain by you. You know, it's better because if it rains by you, it's just going to go in the river, then it's going to get washed further down. But if it rains up further north, then that water is going to come down to you. And both is the optimum. Looks like one of the clouds missed the sun up there. There we go. He took off. Oh, it's just a little guy. I couldn't figure out where it went because it was so small. It was just kind of flying around. Oh, it's a white bass. Just barely hooked. Little white bass. I didn't even get a picture of him. He fell on the platform here. Hopefully he figures out how to get back into the main water. I think there might be even a hole that they can get through down in here. But he'll figure it out. He was in the area of a little triangle up here. So it looks like a bunch of little fish are around. But I mean, if these guys, if this place has been getting fish a lot, then either the big fish are going to be taking, or once they get caught a couple of times, they just rise up. I can pretty much catch any size fish on a jig like this thing. Pretty much any size fish will hit this thing. Or any kind of jig that looks like a minnow like that will work. Like a rubber one or a twister tail. I've gotten pretty much every kind of fish on this thing. We got that little cloud for a minute, and then that cloud's going to be gone. At least we're getting some fish though in that long layoff. I'm not the kind of person that gets all too concerned about size, because I've caught big fish in the river for years and years. You just fish where you want to fish, and what's there, pretty much what's there is there, you know. It's not like, oh, this spot's got big, you know, big bass or whatever. It's pretty much, it could be anywhere, like I said. It's not like a pond, you know, where you probably have specific areas where there's going to be bigger fish, depending on the depth and stuff, to find the good spots, because it's always the same, you know. But the river is moving water, so it's moving fish. The fish don't sit around in their, you know, they're moving around. Where the bait fish go. Trying to take it easy casting on this arm here. Is that a snag? Yeah. Because I like casting out into that slow area and then pulling it into the fast water, and it can kind of trigger something and think that they got to chase it. Oh, now we got a cormorant up here. Fishing bird. It'd be interesting to see if he gets anything. He landed right in that slow area. He just went down. No telling where that thing will come back up to. Oh, he came right back up. He's moving his mouth like he got something. Let's watch him for a second. See where he can. Oh, see, he came up like way further down there. They just kind of swim around down there and search. Yeah, see, now he came up even further down, higher up in the water. It's kind of hard to see now. He's still in that area. He came right up in that area. Maybe he saw something. This will kind of give us a break in the action here. Here now he's even further down. Now we got some clouds coming over. He's just going across here. Oh, he got one. He got one way up high over there. He snagged something. That wasn't enough because he went back down. Because if he found one, that means there could be more there. He's going way up high into that white water. Almost all the way up to the spillway. Because that's pretty much what the fish do. They swim as high as they can. I did not see him come back up. There he is. He's in that same area, so he may have found a good spot. We'll try to learn from him. And he's even further down now, heading towards the other side. Oh, I got weeds on here, big giant weeds. He got another one, way up high. He had to put his head up in order to get the thing down, so it must have been like the size of his head probably. Ooh.